The manifestation game plan, how to manifest everything you want this year. Yes, yes you can. You can manifest everything you want, right? So let's get into it. But before we get into that, I want to share with you that these first episodes of the Soul-Led Millionaire are actually episodes that I recorded in a previous podcast that I used to have back in 2019. And the reason that I want to include these episodes in this show is because I think it's such a great way to see someone's journey, to see their progress, to see how far they've come. I know I always love seeing someone else's experience and the obstacles they've overcome, as well as what they've learned, as well as how they've evolved over time. So I think it's a great way to bring this to you, to show you where I was at only those few years ago, and to see how far I've come since then. As well as the fact that these episodes were great when I recorded them, and they're very dear to me. So I figured, why waste them? Why not let you have these episodes as well? So I hope you enjoy this episode. And if you do, please come over and leave a review for the show and let me know on Instagram what you thought of it. Now, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Even though this episode is about how to manifest everything you want this year, you can use this episode as a guide anytime you want to manifest something. It doesn't need to be a new year in order to be able to apply these principles. So whenever you want to change or whenever you feel like manifesting something new, come back to this episode and repeat the process. Okay? Good. All right. Now let's get into the game plan. The first thing you need to do when manifesting everything you want this year is declutter. You need to declutter everything emotionally and physically. Now, I always start with the physical because a new year always brings about the feeling of wanting to start fresh. And so I use that energy to go through all of my crap and get rid of anything that I have been wanting to get rid of, I've been meaning to get rid of, or didn't even know I needed to get rid of. Hoarders, I'm looking at you and I know who you are. And I literally get rid of them. Some things I donate, some things I throw away if they're like really worn or tatty or old. And other things I sell. It just depends on what it is, right? So I always start with my wardrobe. And if you're getting into this, I recommend to use the Marie Kondo method because everyone's on that bus anyway. And the simplest way to do it is to get all of your clothing and put it on your bed. Like dump every single piece of item you own, put it on your bed. And then what you're going to do is go through each item and ask yourself if it sparks joy within you, or if it makes you happy, or if you love that item. And if you do, fold it up and put it back in the drawer, or hang it up and put it back in your wardrobe. But if it doesn't spark joy within you, thank the item and then place it to the side to go in a donation pile or a sell it pile. Okay? And you're going to do that with everything. You're going to do that with your kitchen, with your wallet, with your bathroom, and then declutter anything else that you feel you need to declutter. And once you've done that, you've cleared the physical, right? Now it's time to declutter the emotional. And how I do that is through forgiveness. Now, forgiving doesn't mean forgetting or excusing what happened. It just means you're letting go of your emotional charge around whatever it is, right? So you're releasing it and surrendering the part that you're holding on to. And you do this on your own. You don't actually need the person or the thing or the situation in front of you. You do this on your own. You let it go on your own. And just in case you haven't heard of forgiveness before, like benefits of it include improved mental health. You have far less stress and anxiety. You get better sleep. There are fewer symptoms of depression. Also, you get improved self-esteem and healthier relationships. And that makes sense because once you let go of your grudge and release the energy around it, you're free to welcome a newer, lighter energy, right? So the first thing you need to do is write a list of everything you can't forgive. So go through anything that's happened with your parents that they've done to you or you remember. Same with your grandparents, your siblings, your family members, your friends, your partner, your ex-partners, your bosses or ex-bosses, and teachers. and write down any memories that come up. Next, think of any situation that triggers you. So maybe you were humiliated in school for something, or you didn't get a job you really wanted. Write it all down. And then last, write down the things that you struggle to forgive yourself for. So maybe you feel guilty for breaking someone's heart, or you stole money out of your mom's wallet when you were a kid, or maybe you bullied someone in school, or hurt an animal, cheated on a test, or violated one of your values. Write every single thing down that you feel uncomfortable or weird about. And then the last thing you do is you read back over that list, and after every line, you say, I forgive you, I love you, I'm sorry, thank you. Spend a few seconds on each line and then move on to the next. You don't need to get caught up in the emotion of it. You just need to say the line, because saying it releases it. Now, whenever I do it, I always have an incredible sense of calm and peace wash over me. And then later on, usually in the days afterward, a few days afterward, I feel a whole lot lighter. And then over time, I watch how things that used to trigger me or used to upset me just don't affect me anymore. And it's great. It's an amazing feeling. So that's how you declutter. Do that first. Once you've decluttered, the next step in manifesting what you want this year is deciding exactly how you want to feel. The easiest way I know how to do this is by choosing a word that corresponds to that feeling. So for example, in 2018, my word for the year was fun. I felt like I had been so deprived of fun in my life for such a long time that I just wanted to have a year of fun. I wanted to do cool stuff. So the feeling of fun to me felt vibrant, it felt light, and it felt carefree. And so throughout the year, I consciously made all my choices based on whether they would create those feelings of fun for me. All of my thoughts, feelings, and actions were taken from the point of wanting to feel this vibrant, light, and carefree energy. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know I did a pretty good job of that, right? Come on, you got to give me credit. I lived it up in 2018. And now my word for the year is empire. And it feels vibrant again, but it has a very strong undercurrent of power and prestige. And now all my choices for this year will be taken from that perspective of wanting to feel powerful. And so that's what you need to do for yourself. You need to choose a word and then the corresponding feelings to it, and then make sure your thoughts, feelings, and actions are always in alignment with how you want to feel. So I recommend putting your word up wherever you look the most. You know, if you go to the fridge all the time, put your word on there. When you open your computer, put a post-it note on there. Put it anywhere that it can remind you that you need to get into that energy, that feeling of that word. Now, obviously you won't be in that energy 24/7. No one really is. But the more that you embody it, the easier it is to get back into it, and the longer you can stay in that energy. That's how you build up the habit of staying more in alignment over time. And the next step, the third step in manifesting what you want this year is to get clear about what you want. You've already created space for fresh new energy to come in, and you know exactly how you want to feel. Now is the time to articulate exactly what you want. So, brain dump everything you want onto a piece of paper. Leave nothing out. Nothing. It's like my wall. Like, put everything on it. And once you've got it all out onto the page, you then want to categorize them. So maybe you want to manifest a healthier body this year, and you want a cleaner diet, and you also want to start practicing yoga and lose 5 pounds. You would categorize them under one category. So maybe you would label it health or my dream body, whatever you prefer. And then do this for all of the things that you've put down on your page, all of the desires. And then what you're going to do is you're going to create a separate page for each category. So let's use the health category as an example. Turn to a brand new page and title it My Ideal Body. Then list out the desires that you brain dumped originally. So lose 5 pounds, start practicing yoga, clean your diet. And then under that list, you're going to write down the techniques and tools that you're going to use to manifest that specific body you want. Which then brings me to the next step of what you need to do to manifest what you want this year. And that is to have a list of manifestation techniques and tools that you can use and refer to whenever you need them. So some tools might include gratitude, or visualization, or acting as if, or scripting, journaling, saging, having a vision board, using crystals, making a focus wheel, using affirmations, maybe it's meditation or emotional freedom technique, or listening to audiobooks, or even doing forgiveness and decluttering. Now, if we go back to your page for manifesting your ideal body, you're going to choose which tool or technique is going to be the best for manifesting that particular goal. So for me, I would choose acting as if by embodying how I wanted to feel and taking action like I already achieved my ideal body. Like drinking lots of water and getting in a salad every day and going for a walk in the forest to help me get into the belief that I'm accelerating my health. And the other technique I would also use would be gratitude, because I want to work with my thoughts and beliefs around the topic of my health. Because sometimes I know I catch myself saying not so nice things about myself. So those are the two manifestation tools and techniques I would use to manifest my ideal body. Another example I'll use is manifesting the travel I want to do this year. So on a separate page, I would title it Travel or My Bucket List. And underneath, I will list out the desires I brain dumped and categorize them together. I'll put down go to Portugal with friends, stay at Jade Mountain in St. Lucia, visit friends in the US, and check out British Columbia. And my manifestation tools of choice would be a vision board and visualization. So what I would do then is I would create a vision board on Pinterest and pin all of the places I wanted to visit in these locations, as well as the things I wanted to do there, like the attractions and experiences. And then when it came to visualizing, I would imagine my experience and what it would be like being in these locations and having an amazing time while I'm at it. It is entirely up to you and what you intuitively feel like is the best tool or technique for you to use for that specific desire. So you really have to tune in with yourself and ask yourself which manifesting tool is going to be the best for that particular thing you want to manifest. I can't choose it for you. Gratitude might not be as effective for you as, say, scripting or forgiveness or using crystals are. So really think about what you like doing and what feels the most aligned with that desire and go from there. And then next, once you've got your categories set, you're going to move into the very last step of manifesting everything you want this year. And that's by scheduling time to implement each manifestation tool or technique every day. So here's an example of what I mean. Say you wake up at 6 a.m. You start work at 9 a.m., you go to the gym at 5:30 p.m., and maybe you have dinner at 7 p.m. You will schedule time in your day to put these tools and techniques in motion to help you manifest and keep yourself in the energy of what you want. So using the example, since you wake up at 6 a.m., you could spend the first hour going through your gratitude list for your ideal body, as well as visualizing your travel adventures that you're going to have this year. Then you would start work at 9, and maybe you have your vision board as your desktop wallpaper on your laptop. So before you start your work, you'll look it over, get yourself feeling really good about the experiences you want to have this year, and then you'll go about your workday. And then once you finish work at 5, you're going to head to the gym. And because one of your manifestation tools was acting as if, when you go into the gym, you're going to act as if you've already achieved your ideal body through exercise. And you're going to amplify your manifestation experience while you work out. Right? Get what I mean? See how powerful this is? So spend a good chunk of your time scheduling reminders in your diary, your agenda, or your planner to do your alignment work every single day. Because guys, this is what brings your desires to you. Because what you're really doing is you're learning to consistently get into the energy, get into alignment of what you really want. You're learning to consistently raise your vibration. And over time, it becomes a habit and you start operating from that higher vibrational place regularly, which just so happens to be where everything you want lives as well. And so it makes manifesting it far easier than ever before. Now, of course, we have our blocks, we have our limiting beliefs and our resistances to it, and they're going to kick in. There's no doubt about that. And that is why it is so important for you to do this manifestation work every single day. Look, no famous athlete or musician or even actor feels good 100% of the time. They also have their own limiting beliefs and resistances that they deal with on a daily basis. But the thing that keeps them successful is their consistency in what they do. They go and train when they don't feel like it. They show up to the studio when life is really hard. Or they rock up to set even when they're feeling doubtful. Consistency is key to getting into vibrational alignment with your desires. And so that's what I hope you take away the most from this episode, that consistency is key to getting into alignment. So let's recap. The first thing you're going to do is declutter everything physically and emotionally from your life to clear the air and make the energy fresh for you to start manifesting what you want this year. The next thing you're going to do is choose how you want to feel by picking a word that resonates with you. And then you're going to put that word everywhere. So you remind yourself that that's how you want to feel this year. And so you can constantly get into alignment with that feeling. The third thing you'll do is get clear about exactly what you want. So you're going to brain dump everything onto a piece of paper, or maybe a few pieces of paper. And then you're going to categorize them into their corresponding topics. Next, you will create a list of tools and techniques that you're going to use to manifest these specific things that you want. And then last but not least, you're going to schedule time every day in your diary, your agenda, your planner, to work on these tools and techniques to help you manifest every single thing you want this year. And that, my friend, is your game plan for manifesting everything you want. Now, I hope you really like this episode, and I hope you really do see how powerful this game plan is, and that you can use it at any time throughout the year. It doesn't need to be a new year. But most of all, I hope you get started on it today, because a year from now, you will be in a completely different, extremely aligned, incredibly high vibed place than you are today. And that's what I want for you the most. Hey, it's Elise again. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot out of it. And if you did, I would love for you to share your review of this episode on iTunes. I want this podcast to get out to as many people as possible to help them become soul-led millionaires. So if you could do that, if you love the show and you want to share the love, please make sure you leave a review. If you would like more goodies, if you just can't get enough and you want to learn even more, I have a free 3-day workshop on how to manifest $1,000 or more in 30 days that I would love for you to take. All the details of that are in the show notes below. Otherwise, if you just want to say hi, come over to Instagram at Elise McDowell. Thank you once again for listening to this episode. I will see you again soon.